What's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GorillaCross.com, UnnamedSportsShow.com, and all of our social media pages. Download the Gorilla Cross app. We're also live there, audio and video, so make sure you check that out. Download the app for free in your app store or go to GorillaCrossRadio.com for your direct download. I'm your host, Quan59, and we have another dope show for you once again today, live in the studio. Shout out to my man Peace 586 for all the beats in the background we're going to be playing today. Dropped a new beat tape, Up in the Northwest, is out now. Make sure you go check that out. We're excited. Got my man Just in Time Josh in the building. What's good?
Not much, man. My Wizards are out, so this is the RIP jersey for them. There will be no more Wizard jerseys.
I mean, that's a John Wall jersey, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's been RIP for a few years.
It's RIP for 1 year. It just happened.
What?
Just happened.
It's been out for 2 years.
He played this year.
For the Rockets.
But he got traded this year. It just happened.
Stop.
Listen, I can't just constantly just upgrade the jerseys every check. Look, because by the time I buy Bradley Beal, he gonna be gone. So what you want from me right now? That's why I buy old stuff. That's why I gotta
listen. If you're watching live, please share the live video stream. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you're watching, please share the live video stream with your people. I'm your host, Quan59, with Josh Williams. We are here every Monday, 1 p.m. West Coast time, and Thursday, whenever we want to go live. We go live anytime before 5, because then we got shows all night after that.
Yes.
But we are here. We are live. Got my man in the building, special guest, first timer, supposed to be here a couple times, and then COVID said no thanks. Got my man Chad Ferguson in the building. I almost called him Chad Maria.
Chad Maria, yes.
Almost put that on his name tag.
Hey, I can roll with that.
You can roll with that?
I can roll with that. That will work.
But he is the first man of one of the first ladies of Unnamed, Sophia Maria. So Chad, she let him come out of the house today and actually get on the show, talk sports. He's been texting me all weekend, so he's excited to be here. He was texting me about NBA last night, and the Golden Knights were losing, they were in overtime, and then lost in overtime. So if I don't respond to texts after a loss, you know why.
Well,
he was still trying to text me about basketball. I'm like, bro, I have my phone down. I can't deal with this anymore. Very tough game last night, man.
We've all been there.
Great game, overtime. Definitely. They had a lot of opportunities to score. Knights are down now 2-0, going into Vegas tomorrow night for the next 2 games. So hopefully we can tie it up this weekend.
Yep.
If not, we're in trouble.
Definitely.
Listen, hockey, it's not over till it's over, so at least got to win one. You'd like for it to be the next one, just to kind of put
you definitely don't want to go down 3-0.
Yeah, you go down 3-0, it's a little bit different.
So you definitely need to win on Friday night. Chad, man, tell us about yourself. Former basketball player, played high school, college, and overseas. Where did you play overseas?
Overseas, I played majority of my time overseas. I played in Mexico. Great time down there. I loved playing down there. Played in Russia also, and also a little bit in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to say it was a grind. It was fun. About 4 seasons. A lot of experiences. Just love the game of basketball. Love playing it. Love talking about it, and I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
What position? What was your style?
I was pick and pop 4.
Okay.
Small forward, power forward, pick and pop forward, spread the floor.
Okay.
A lot of 3-point shooter. Basically, I'd be great right now. I wish I was playing right now in today's game.
You missed your moment.
I missed my moment. I was too early. I wish I was playing in today's game. Just let it rip. Definitely. I would pick and pop, and I would be the guy sliding as far as I could from the hoop to shoot the 3 ball.
I got you.
That was me.
Dope. Listen, man, if you guys watching live, please comment in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching in a different state, city, or country, let us know. If you're one of the Russians that's a fan of Chad and has his jersey, let us know. And, send us a screenshot of the Ferguson number. What number were you?
Oh, man.
In Russia.
I don't even trying to remember.
Was it a pretty number, or was it like,
no, it was like,
just take
when you're overseas, Josh, it's 1 through 15.
Oh, really?
Right.
Like
right.
FIBA.
Hey, it's FIBA. It's 1 through 15 when I was playing. I want to say I wore 12 a lot, and 11, and maybe 7.
Okay.
So it had to be one of those 3.
Those are solid numbers, though.
Yeah, those are my numbers. But no, it wasn't no NBA.
See, I would have to have either 15, 8, or
you'd be 15.
Magic and Larry
15
Johnson
was
both wore
that's
number
the
15.
That's the 3X though. In FIBA, that's the 3X. So.
Oh, really?
It was by size too.
Oh yeah,
that's funny.
I could never be number 3.
Yeah,
I want to be 3.
Too small.
Too small.
Too small.
That's hilarious.
And I'm usually the other American was the point guard, especially if I was at 3 or 4.
That's right.
The other American's a point guard. So he was 3, and I either had to pick 12 or 11 or maybe 7.
Okay. Yeah,
that's funny.
Number 10.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why?
That's birthday. That's my number.
That's Kobe's Olympic number.
Oh, that's true. That's true. No. 13 was the family number, but every time I wore 13, things went left. So I had to start doing my own thing, and then the 3 started falling.
I think every time I got traded or I go to another team, switch the number up.
There you go.
Got to get refreshed.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. How many times did you get traded?
1 year I played for 2 different teams in 1 season.
Okay.
Yep.
That's not too bad.
Got traded twice. Yep.
Oh, you got traded twice.
I got 3 teams. Got traded twice.
Oh.
So I started with a team, got traded 1 more time.
Dang, yeah, okay, that is a little bit tough.
but that's in Mexico. Anything goes.
Especially overseas, because you're not. I mean, in Mexico, other countries, you're not playing 82 games. It's
no. You're on monthly contracts. Your contract, you get paid monthly. You know.
That overseas grind, man. That's something we could really talk about another time. But it's definitely something to be told, and because people think they have a different perception of what it is versus actually what happens. Like literally teams disband.
I think Chad got lucky because I've heard horror stories where you're not getting paid at all. You're playing 2 weeks and then it's like, yo, where's the
close friends? Month, 2 months, 3 months behind in money. Especially guys making a lot.
And then
of
the
money.
league just folds or the team folds.
Well, the team folds. The team will fold, and then you don't then you haven't been paid, and then it's like, oh, figure out how you gonna get home.
Yeah,
like it's the Wild Wild West. It is not America.
So you didn't have any of those horror stories yourself?
Not really. I had maybe one situation where I didn't get paid, and I had a choice whether I wanted to go back or get paid, and I just went back to where I was. But I also did a grind in Mexico. It was called like the mercenary tournaments. I don't know if you guys, there's a special on Vice about it a couple years ago. I wish I had the name of it. But in between the seasons down there, you play these mercenary tournaments or cash tournaments. You play for a city.
Yeah.
You represent a city. I don't know if you ever heard of these down there.
I have. Yeah.
You represent a city down there and say whatever the city is, and there's a member behind that who puts up the money, and he is who he is.
Yeah.
And so you play in these tournaments, and the further you go in the tournament, the more money you make, especially as an American. Usually there's 2 or 3 Americans per team, and then you play with like 3 guys that represent that city or that town. And the games are wild. They're at night, 7 to like 11 p.m. at night. You play 1 or 2 games a day they last about 4 or 5 days on the festival, and it's the absolute best time in the world. And if you win, you get to leave with the money. You leave with a whole bunch of money. Everyone wins their share. Everyone's happy. But if you lose early, you could have a bad experience. But that's the chance and the risk you take, though.
Don't lose early.
Don't lose early.
Sinaloa, don't play.
Hey, no comment. Definitely.
That's funny. That's funny, man. Just hearing that, because most people don't pay attention to overseas basketball unless they know somebody that's over there playing over there, or if you're in those countries watching and stuff like that. So you see the clean NBA. Business is good. You're getting paid.
Contracts are fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
Even if you
overseas
jump out of the airplane, twist your knee, you're probably still gonna be okay. Overseas, cough twice the wrong way. Be like, oh no. Man, look, I sent a guy to Thailand, he averaged 35, 22, and 12. And they were like, we felt like we were going to do more, and
wow,
sent him home and tried not to pay. Like, I swear to you, like, his team, because his team wasn't winning, like his team won, and I think they were like right on the bubble of the playoffs, and they lost, and they were like, we're not gonna pay you this last month, so we're just gonna send you home and say that you weren't good enough. And then, but then that goes around. Chad knows that goes around. The next time you try to get another job, someone's asking you why you got sent home early, and now you have to explain. And it's like, bro, look at my stats. But then they're like, oh well, he was a bad player or he had a bad attitude.
Teammate.
It's terrible. It's bad. It's
clash with the coach or anything.
Yeah,
anything could possibly.
It's tough. Yep. Definitely tough. Like I said, we could do an episode on overseas basketball. There's a lot there. One day. There's a lot there.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's talk about underseas basketball here.
Domestic
basketball. Lakers are on the brink of elimination tonight in their series against number 2 seed Phoenix Suns. So it's not an upset, folks. Lakers are number 7. Even though they were favored in the series to win. They are down 3-2. They had a horrendous game where nobody showed up on Tuesday. LeBron leaves with about 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a big deal. I think because it was LeBron. We see players do that a lot. People don't pay attention to that. If you're hurt, if you're dealing with an injury, you leave the bench. You see players do that all the time. Yep. Dennis Rodman would be under the tunnel on a bike all the time. So he'd
be shirtless all the time.
A lot of things. So the fact that LeBron left early, I'm not going to freak out like a lot of people are.
Was he hurt? Is that what they're trying to say?
His ankle's been messed up. So, I mean, he's still... Their excuse was he went to get treatment. Do you need treatment with 5 minutes left? Is that 5 minutes going to make a big difference? I don't know. But at the same time, when you're the leader of a team and your starting point guard has 0 points, I would want to leave too. I turned the TV off at the beginning of the third quarter, so I left it. I usually never turn off Laker games, but when you're down by 30-something, he deserves to leave. LeBron's trying to put that team on his shoulders with AD being out, and nobody showed up. Nobody was hitting shots. I was talking about it before the show. I think LeBron, what he needs to do tonight, what I thought he should have done on Tuesday, is be aggressive, get to the hole as much as you can, because they cannot stop you. You're getting to the hole with ease. Make your impact on the game first, and then go in there and try to get your teammates involved. I think he did it backwards in Phoenix. I think he should have just been aggressive, kept the score close, but nobody was making shots. And I think if he's aggressive and there's already a good score going on, if he has 12 in the first quarter, cool, do that, and they get other people involved. What do you think will happen tonight? This is the NBA. This is LeBron James. Are they going to let him go out in the first round this early?
I mean, for me, I'll say this. Even though he was getting to the hole, Phoenix has been running basically a 1-3-1. Where because basically the Lakers and mostly any LeBron team, they run a high screen roll for him at the top of the key, and basically outside of switching, they're not switching. They're basically just pinching. They're pinching 3 guys at the free throw line, and they're forcing him into uncomfortable actions. Can he still scissor through all that and get to the cup? Of course, he's LeBron. He's stronger, but it does force him into a lot of little bit unorthodox looks that he doesn't really want. And if guys aren't hitting shots, it's going to be another long night.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's similar to what we've seen people do to LeBron in the past, which is go zone. The Spurs used to go zone. A lot of teams, that have given LeBron trouble in the past is they'll go zone. And if he doesn't have people that are just going to hit shots over and over and over again, you can live with it.
But I think LeBron was getting to the hole and passing out.
Yeah.
And I feel like the zone wasn't doing much because he's bringing the ball up. So when you're a point guard that's that big, the zone isn't going to affect you too much because they can't zone you all the way down the court, right?
No.
Even though you're right, they're doing an effective job of that. But I think LeBron's probably the best at breaking that zone, especially with him bringing the ball all the way down the court. So I do feel like he needs to be more aggressive. We don't know if AD is going to play tonight or not.
Yeah.
LeBron's telling him to take your time. So here's my thing. Lakers knew going into the season that this was going to be a hard season for them. So with them just, having 70 days in between winning a championship and starting the season again, I don't think they're disappointed if they go out in the first round. Not only did they just win the championship not even a year ago, it was 7 months ago.
Sure.
They have that under their belt. They're hurt. This way, even if they go out tonight, let's say they go out tonight or even Sunday, they go out in the first round, that gives them so much time to relax, because this has felt like one big season to the Lakers, and we saw with the Miami Heat. They were tired in the playoffs. They couldn't do anything against the Bucks.
They were done.
And we saw that with the teams that went all the way to the finals last season. And I don't think Lakers are going to be upset. I don't think they need to make major changes. I think maybe Schroeder messed himself up by wanting a max contract and not scoring. So that's messing him up, so Lakers can get him way cheaper now. Drummond, give him a training camp with the same team if they want to re-sign him. I don't think Lakers need to make major changes. You don't have to blow up the team.
Do you want to bring back Drummond?
I think they do. I wouldn't mind if you get him with a full training camp and get him used to playing with LeBron and AD.
Yeah.
So I'll be mad. I'll be upset, obviously, if Lakers lose tonight or lose this series. But at the same time,
you got your ring. I don't want to hear it.
You got the ring.
No, they're satisfied. The Lakers are satisfied.
You got the ring, and then you get a lot of time off, which at LeBron's age he needs. Next season will be the first real season in 2 years.
Yeah.
First normal season, hopefully, unless COVID-25 happens and Fauci's emails don't leak.
Is that what happened? I haven't been paying attention.
Let's talk to Chad.
Go ahead, Chad.
I will say this, though. If LeBron loses in the first round and he bows out, say tonight or the next game, let's calm down the Jordan talk. Because Jordan wouldn't throw in the towel just because one of his teammates is out. And
Scotty had no back.
He threw in the
good chunk of that daggone Utah series.
Jordan threw in the towel for 2 seasons, though.
Oh, but he went and did something
season
for
and a half.
Yeah. Anybody went and play baseball, he deal with his dad. That's different. LeBron doesn't have AD tonight. LeBron, he can still be the most dominant player in the game.
Yeah.
And control the game. He can control the flow, but he's missing Rondo, playoff Rondo. He's missing playoff Rondo.
And I told you that in the beginning of the season that was going to be more of a loss than you thought.
Oh, no, because he can control the ball.
Yeah.
He can control the ball
and
give LeBron a breather.
Yes.
Of doing that, because LeBron is playing point forward and center right now.
And they thought that Schroeder would
and coach and GM
do something like that,
Yeah.
And Schroeder is disappeared.
But look, I'll say this though. Schroeder he's a very, very good second tier point guard. Like, I would not be upset if he was my starting point guard on almost any team in the league. I have hated him since he was in Atlanta, just because him and John Wall had battles. But he's always been a very, very solid point.
And he had 20-something the other night.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's done nothing the whole time. But when your best player, second best player goes out, Schroeder needs to be the one to step up. He's the third best player on that team.
Yeah.
Him or Drummond. But Drummond's not a scorer like
Drummond's
that.
not that guy.
Drummond's a cleanup guy. So you need to take over and be more assertive. You can't be 0 for 9.
Can't be asking Kyle Kuzma.
No, Schroeder's got to do what Kuzma was supposed to do.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what Schroeder's got to do.
Yeah.
What Kuzma was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Schroeder's got to step up.
Yep.
All right, and so I got Lakers winning tonight, and then we'll talk about Sunday, depending on AD and stuff like that. But I think Lakers, their energy has to be high. They know this is an elimination game.
This is in LA, right?
We've never seen LeBron in this position in the first round. He's never lost in the first round. So this is something different for him, being down 3-2.
I feel like he was down 3-2 one time versus like Indiana or somebody like that.
I don't know if that was the first round.
But not first round, probably.
I feel like it was the first round because like it was like Philly. Like one of those series, it was like, and then it was like, no, the NBA came in and said, won't happen. Let's call every call the wrong way. But
who do you got win tonight?
Who do I want to win, or who do I have?
Who you got? We know who you want. You don't want Lakers or LeBron winning any game ever.
I'll say I'm taking the Suns with the spread. The Suns are +2, and I'm teasing it with 6, so I'm giving +8. I definitely can cover that.
But Lakers are going to win.
Lakers going to win, and AD will come back game 7.
Okay.
Lakers to get through this one.
I don't know if AD comes back.
He might come back and give him a little bit in game 7.
I don't know if he comes back game 7 because he was already hurt.
Leg.
He was hurt, and I almost sent a text out saying AD's not going to last this whole game. because he really didn't look like it because he had the knee. I can't remember.
Groin, right? He took the knee to the groin.
No. He had an injury going into that game. They didn't know if he was going to play that game. And then in that game, he goes down with another injury. So that's why I don't think this man needs to play, because he's going to have a career-ending injury in the series if he doesn't just sit out the rest of the series.
How do you injure an injury?
I mean, bro, he just he pulled his groin on his bad knee.
I had an ankle. Now I hurt my shoulder. Then I hurt my shoulder and I got messed up my elbow.
Can't play,
like,
coach.
whoa, like
I woke up with an amputated leg. It just doesn't make any sense. And he's the type. I don't know, man.
He's Mr. Glass.
Listen,
man.
we got one ring out of him. I'm not sure what else we can get. I have a prediction that AD retires before LeBron, or they retire at the same time.
How old is AD? AD's probably like what, 30?
He's about 30, 31, but his body is.
Come out of you, Kentucky, what, 2012, 2013 they won the championship?
Yeah, it was like 2012. So
Yeah,
he's 19, so that's 11. Yeah, he's right 29, 30 in there.
Just under
28.
28.
He's only 28, and his body is that of a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1988.
He's the walking wounded.
Bro, that's 28, and he's had at least 45 injuries. That's a lot.
Major injuries, too. From
yeah.
concussions to broken things to fractures, and he's had his share.
Yep.
As long as it's not the feet, though. The big man, as long as your feet don't go, you can keep coming back. Once those feet, Yao Ming, Bill Walton, once you start cracking an ankle or foot, there's no coming back for the big guys.
Yep. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully it's not as serious as it looks with him, because sometimes it looks like he's going to be like last year in the finals. It looked like he had a career-ending injury, and then he comes
Paul pierced.
Paul pierced and came back.
Exactly.
When he's healthy, he's unstoppable. So the biggest thing with him is health. That's the only thing stopping him. Only thing stopping AD.
When he's unstoppable, he's unstoppable, because he was healthy in game one and didn't show up. So that's the other problem with AD. I think somebody said on ESPN on one of the games, saying he's a top 5 talent, but he's not a top 5 player because he doesn't always show up. If he would show up every single game, his skill set, he's top 5.
Is a problem. Yeah.
But I mean, even LeBron has 2 more years left in LA, probably, right? Once he retires, this is AD's team. AD will be 30, 31. You still have to bring in another superstar, because he's not. We saw him in New Orleans. He did not lead that team to anything. So he needs to be the second best player on the team.
Who is that guy in a year or two that you pair with him?
Who knows? I mean, this is the NBA. Who knows? Maybe Kevin Durant doesn't want to be in Brooklyn anymore. Maybe after Kyrie retires for some religious belief, and James Harden is mad because he's not getting enough shots. Who knows?
Or because
or maybe Bradley Beal.
Strip clubs closed for 5 minutes.
Bradley Beal. It might be Bradley Beal, LeBron, and AD next year.
Chad had one.
Or if Cuban lets Luka go to LA.
I don't think
Cuban does it again. He let Nash go. I don't think he does it again.
Well, he didn't do it with Dirk.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And he kept Dirk.
Yeah, he doesn't do that with the guys that I feel like Dirk he didn't want to do it with Steve
and Dirk
Nash.
definitely had a major under the table contract going for a long time.
Yeah, like he's got a job. He has a job right now.
And Luka does.
He's in the front office right now.
Luka has a all-time contract. with the Mavs.
You want to talk about that series?
I want to talk more about. We need to get some of these players on to talk more about under the table contracts, because Gilbert Arenas on All the Smoke talked about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to talk more about that, because I was glad that he was so open about it, because that happens all the time.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, like, my only problem is that players will kind of come out there and they'll kind of play both sides, like, oh no, I need more money, and it's like, shut up, you're getting more money.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. But it kind of goes both ways.
But Gil talked about a contract he had with Golden State, and they just threw some cars outside, like, all 3 of these cars are yours.
I heard that.
And he got infatuated with these cars, so he said, I couldn't even hear the money anymore.
Yeah.
And then, they finally leave. He's like, I'm signing, like, that car, the Bugatti,
he said he signed for 3 cars and 3 chains or something like that.
Exactly.
He's like, I didn't care about the money or nothing. I just wanted the cars and
then
the chains.
His agent was
let
like,
my team figure out the rest.
His agent was like, if you go with Washington and what they're trying to pay, you could buy those cars.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, dang. But things like that happened, and then some of the other under the table deals he had talked about. But it was really dope to hear that.
I honestly wish, I can't speak on NHL because I don't know, but for someone like Ovechkin's in a contract year, right?
Yeah.
If we signed Ovechkin to like something really, really low and then gave him ownership points, like because we want you to be a capital and in the organization for life, give him ownership points and say, okay, you own a piece of the team. This is how much you're paying. You could actually put so much more around it. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know if owners are willing to do that, but it's like certain players, certain people, you should do that. And then, but save yourself twice. Now I've got 20 million more in cap space and I can go build an even better team.
Basically what Brady does everywhere he goes.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Brady, organization.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the other game tonight, the Blazers and the Nuggets. I didn't see the final score of the game that night because I was upset again. I think that's when the Lakers lost, so I wasn't answering my phone. I was watching Queen's Gambit that Todd told me about. And
I told you about originally.
I never. I don't think
me and Sophia watched that. That was good.
It's good.
We binge watched it. We ran right through it.
Yeah.
It's
pretty good.
Good 2 days.
Oh yeah. We knocked that out.
Yeah, it was good. But I was on the last episode actually, and then Lakers were down by 30. So I'm like, I'm not.
Queen's Gambit.
Let me finish this.
Definitely better than the Lakers.
Yeah,
definitely.
And so I didn't see the final score of the game. All I saw was social media blowing up on Dame. And listen, Dame was amazing, but I'm going to tell you why this is the most overrated game ever, because he lost the game. And I was upset when I saw they lost because they were blowing it up like he had won something major. And yeah, what he did was crazy. And the shots he was hitting was crazy. But you lost the game. Does that go down as a classic game when you lose?
I'll answer your question with this question. Do you still remember the game when Isaiah Thomas daggone sprained his ankle and was going nuts on the Lakers?
Yeah, because Lakers won.
But do you see what I'm saying? We still talk about that game till this day because that was heart. What Dame did the other night was insane. Like it's like he can't guard all 5 people. You know what I mean? Like,
it was insane. The only knock you could have on the whole game is that he didn't take a shot in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
that's the only thing you could say about Dame. And I love.
And didn't McCollum have like an air ball or something like that?
Something like that. But I'm saying it don't matter. And then CJ's nice. McCollum's nice. But you got 12 3-pointers in the game. You got 50-something points. You don't shoot the ball in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I've never had a game like that. But I know if I did, I'm not passing the ball.
Yeah.
I don't care how open my teammates are. I'm not passing the ball.
I am feeling it.
I'm gonna lose this myself, or we're gonna win it myself. Like I'm just saying. I'm being completely honest.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Honest.
Let's talk about that.
I can't believe he didn't take a shot in the last 3 minutes.
Dame is one of the best players in the league. He does this all the time. He has crazy games all the time. His teams do not win, and he has a good team around him. So what is it about Dame? Because somebody said, and I think you said it, so we'll talk about this, and we'll go around the room and answer this. Do you take Dame or Steph? And my thing is Steph, even though he's fading away even in some of the finals and stuff like that, but Steph seems to control the game more. Dame can control the game all game, and then there's something there. His team just does not do it, and he has good centers on that team. Carmelo's been playing well the last couple of years. He has a number 2 guy that is pretty good. What do you think it is that he's missing on his teams?
Identity. They don't really have an identity.
Because, I mean, he had Aldridge in Aldridge's prime, and they weren't.
And LaMarcus never really, he was good, but he never really, he was all-star, but he was a second level all-star. He never ascended to that next level, and then it slowly became Dame's team because it was LaMarcus's team, and Dame was just kind of the young guy as a sidekick.
Yeah.
And then Dame slowly kept going further.
Well, pretty fast.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He took over that team in year 2.
Wasn't that slow? But to answer your question, I mean Steph, obviously, but the only reason I say Steph is because his team has an identity.
Yeah.
And even though right now the identity is shaken a little bit just because of injuries and influx of new players, they have one. You know what I mean? Different players have different roles. I feel like Portland, a lot of their role players, even though they have good players and good big men, everybody kind of doesn't really have a set role where it's like, I do this, and this is my job. They don't really have that. So it's not so much on Dame. It's
so does that go on the coach?
Yeah, for sure. The coach needed to be fired 4 years ago. But
coach, organization.
He kept doing good enough.
Yeah.
He was getting by. He was getting by. I would say, I mean, I'm going with Dame. I'm going with Dame only because my thing is, if you look at like teammate wise, look who Steph's got to play with. Look at this, just name his teammates. You got KD.
Wait. Let's name his teammates Thompson this year, where he could have, if he would have got his team to the playoffs, won an MVP. With a lot of nobodies and a lot of hurt nobodies.
True, but we also give Steph a lot of clout because of the championships he won.
Definitely.
He wouldn't have won those championships without those teammates.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look at what Dame's working with.
But he also won before KD got there.
No, yeah, I'm saying, but he also has Clay. Like, that's what they're missing right now.
Yeah.
It's Clay.
Definitely.
Clay is unreal.
Yeah.
They're missing Clay.
Well, because Clay, he's Reggie Miller, and he opens up. He opens up so much more of the game for everyone.
He frees up everything. He frees up the space.
Yep.
But I'm going with Dame just because imagine what Dame could have done if he had KD, if he had Klay Thompson.
Yeah, it's a totally different.
If he had Draymond Green setting screens and giving him the ball all game.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to create, because Dame creates everything on his own.
Yes.
He creates everything.
So would Dame fit with a team that needs to move the ball a lot more?
I think he's so good he fits anywhere. I think Dame. I think when you're that good,
listen, he's one of my favorite players.
I think that you fit anywhere when you're that good.
And he's a combo, like because CJ will initiate the offense sometimes, and he will run off of screens and actions. So he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands to be effective. But I understand what you're saying in terms of his usage rate is very high. He does need the ball.
Yeah. Look what happened when he didn't shoot the last 3 minutes of the game. Yeah. They lose the game and can't score.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't realize he didn't shoot.
I didn't see that
last 3 minutes and 20 seconds, he never shot the ball again.
Dang.
Never shot it again.
And Brian was actually at the game because he's in Colorado already in Denver for the night, so he got to watch that game too. So he was taking videos of that.
Crazy rat. Good for you, Brian.
Yep.
Tell us all your stories from the road as you come
leave
back.
us here in the podcast studio while you're traveling the world. But do you think, because they're going into Portland tonight, do you think they win at home?
They better.
I mean, as a Dame fan, I hope they win.
I hope so.
I mean, they got to have.
They should have beat this team already.
Letdown, Dame gives you 55 and you lose.
You're playing a Denver team. You're playing a Denver team without Jamal Murray, who is easily their second best player. They traded Gary Harris, who was a really good player for them, for Aaron Gordon.
Gary Trent.
No, they had Gary Harris. No, that was
Gary Trent. When is it Gary Trent Jr.?
Gary Trent Jr. was in Portland.
My bad.
Yep, Gary Harris. It was in Denver. You're right.
My fault. That's on me. Go ahead.
So this is a team they beat 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
To go to the Western Conference Finals.
3 years. Yeah, that's been.
So this is a team they should have already beat, right? And to me, especially after game one, I thought it was going to be an easy series for them. I thought, even though Jokic is the MVP, I thought this was going to be a series. They know they're weak. You go in there, just take over.
You just made Kevin's whole week by saying that.
Oh yeah, he'll probably call.
He's going to call in like 5 minutes.
But the fact is they haven't done that yet, and I think that's a little deflating, especially with all the energy Dame gave out in the last game.
Yeah.
Can they come back and win after a deflating loss like that? I don't know.
I don't see it tonight. I think they're gonna lose. I'm a Dame fan. I wish Dame plays well. I wish they win, but I don't see it. I see 2 overtimes. Double overtime, right?
Yeah.
Double overtime in Denver in the altitude, and you got to fly back off a loss. You're going back home. You got to win 2 in a row to move on. I mean, I don't know. I don't see them winning tonight. I'll take Denver tonight.
Okay.
I think Denver closes it up.
And I will take Portland at home. If it was in Denver, it'd be different, but I'm taking Portland at home.
I'll take Portland just because I hope for Dame to win.
Right. Get 7 games.
And because I think the spread, actually, you know what? I'm taking Denver on the spread because it's like plus 11 after you tease it.
Yeah. All right. There we go. And next up in the Western Conference, the Dallas Mavericks. And if you guys want to call in, hit us up 702-608-3259. Once again, that phone number is 702-608-3259. Or you can download the app, the Gorilla Cross app, for free. Just push the call-in button. It'll call us directly. All right, so we have every home game has been won by the road team in this Clippers and Mavs series. A lot's going to happen if Mavs end up beating the Clippers in this series. It's 3-2 right now, so they have 2 games. They're going back to Dallas. They need to take advantage of that. They need to win that game in Dallas. Definitely. I don't think I could say I don't think they'll win the game in LA, but I really didn't think they would lose last night. I thought Clippers for sure had that game last night, and they end up losing. Clippers come back, looked like they were about to pull it off.
They were about to steal the game back. They were
at the close. End, like there was not enough time for Dallas to fold like they did. But this is a crazy series for the Clippers because Kawhi could be a free agent.
Yep.
But the fact is, a lot of this is Kawhi's fault. So if you want to leave, like you're leaving us, but we might not care because you haven't been the Kawhi that we wanted anyways.
He shook up the whole organization, got rid of Doc, and then he wants to leave. If he does leave, that's rough.
I mean, look.
And Clippers might not be mad if he leaves because he has not been the Kawhi that was hot in Toronto. Because let's face it, Kawhi has been overrated in his last 5 or 6 years. When he won the championship, they were saying because he didn't play before that, and they were crowning him after having a good run to the finals, playing a depleted Warriors team to win the championship.
But that's the last two, though.
Okay, but so after that, they were saying he's now the best player in the league, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the whole thing, and he hasn't done much since then at all.
No, and
he hasn't even been top 10 in the league the last 2 years.
Well, and his biggest asset, which was always his defense, has been shaky. It hasn't been well, I wouldn't say
not exposed,
but
Luka's
just
special, but not the effort wise or maybe intensity wise.
Yeah, just in terms of lockdown, because that was the thing that Kawhi always had. He always was the guy that was like, I'm gonna stop whoever your best person is.
Yeah,
I'll get my points. And that was the thing that made him a superstar. Was not only am I gonna take away LeBron from you, but I'm gonna go give you 25 too.
He could score, and he's the best defender on the court.
Yeah, that's what started to ascend him, but. Yeah. He's still able to score at a solid rate, but his defense has dropped off a lot. Him and Paul George, frankly.
Yeah. Two guys that are both 3-and-D guys.
Yeah.
Labeled that way.
Yeah.
Supposedly labeled that way. Both letting them down. I would say the biggest thing is how they put all the blame to me last year on Doc, kind of. You know, the system or this or not enough pick and rolls, not enough this. And Paul George is playing better. Of course, this playoffs he's playing better. And he's showing up and he's playing better. But if they lose,
it doesn't matter.
The blame is on them. It's not even on Ty Lue. It's on them. Them two. I say it's on them two.
I mean, they traded Lou Williams.
They got rid of their soul the team in a way. You know, they got rid of Lou. They got rid of Trez.
Montrezl Harrell.
And they got rid of Doc. You know. I mean, they got rid of the head coach, but they kept the staff. You know, you think about it though. You know, they cut him off, but they wanted to keep anybody that was in his structure, anybody that you know, they hired Ty Lue right away, who came from Doc.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul George is playing better. He's still not doing, you know, the amazing Paul George stuff that he said he was going to do in the playoffs this year. And yes, he's definitely solid. But if you're a superstar in this league, instead of 23 points to lose a game, you need to be 30, 35.
Listen, the game before this last game when they tied it up in Dallas, when it went 2-2, both him and Kawhi, I mean, literally shot lights out. I think Kawhi missed 3 shots.
Like 14 and they won 17.
Yeah, like it was like something just insane, and they won the game by like 8.
Yeah.
And when that game happened, I was like, they're in real trouble because both of their superstars played like superstars, and Luka still did his thing. Luka had I think like 42.
He had 42.
But it's still, in the end, the grand scheme was still, they barely won. It was much closer.
2 superstars should be 1 superstar, and that's playoff basketball.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing that consistently with these 2 superstars.
No.
Because there's no reason they shouldn't be able to beat Dallas.
Look at Luka's help right now. Look at the box score from last night.
God, I'm still so mad about Chris
had
Stapps.
8 points. He had 5 points. I remember I text Quan last night. I said, look at this box score. This guy's cheating out of tens of millions of dollars. He had 5 points, and then he hits a 3 right after I sent that text.
Right after,
But he had 8 points. I was like, he must have heard me. And then if you look at it, what was it? Tim Hardaway Jr. had 14 or 15, right? There was only 2 guys.
20 last night.
Yeah, okay, he had 20 last night. So 2 guys in double figures though for Dallas.
Yeah.
And they beat LA.
And they win the game.
And they win.
And LA, they beat LA.
I mean, Finney Smith only had 8.
He was all over the place though. All over the place.
Yeah.
He was a glue man. Glue man.
But yeah, I mean, you're not getting a lot from anybody else, and you're leading the series 3-2. So Clippers really have to find their identity if they want to move on. Because right now Luka is beating them pretty much single-handedly, and
missing free throws.
And if they lose, Kawhi's gonna be thinking South Beach looks nice. South Beach looks nice.
Listen, man, Pat will do whatever.
Pat Riley can make anything happen.
If he does, though, like.
He's fine with it. He doesn't care.
Jimmy's there. Jimmy would take the heat.
He's not.
Jimmy would be like, I'll do what everybody.
No, I know, but I'm just
squad right there.
I'm just thinking, like, does that immediately jump Miami back to where they need to be, or is that just
them up there?
Like, because what do they lose? What are they losing by him coming? I'm trying to think.
Same thing. What I said with what the Lakers are facing right now. They're two tired teams. So Miami's tired. They weren't as bad as they looked against Milwaukee. They were tired. Jimmy was tired.
Their supporting cast didn't show up either.
Bam looks different, so it's going to be next year is going to be way different. Next year is going to be way different with everybody. You're going to have it's going to be regular again, so we'll see what happens. But I mean, Kawhi, and then you have to think, what are we going to do with Paul George if Kawhi's gone? Do we just let him have the team because we need another superstar here, or do we have to blow this whole thing up, try to trade Paul George because he's not really?
Probably they're gonna have to try to keep one. I would try to keep it. You try to salvage one because if you lose both, then it looks really bad. It's on Steve. It's on coach.
Or does Kawhi and Paul George just stay and use the same excuse like these last 2 years have been irregular years,
weird years. Yeah.
Now let's have one regular season together and see where it goes from there.
But do they want to spend the rest of their career in a city where they're then second team?
Yeah, second team and not doing anything because even
they're
if
never going to be bigger than the Lakers.
If they win the championship, they're still the second team.
They're still the second team.
If they win a championship, they'll still be the second team, but until they get that new stadium, I think when they get their own arena, they can start to separate themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Their fans have their own home. Lakers have their own home. You know what I mean?
And Lakers aren't going anywhere because they just signed on the 25 years or something like that.
At Staples? Really?
Yeah, they signed an extension. 20 or 25 more
Makes
years.
sense. They've completely revitalized that area. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's them.
But
Clippers pay rent.
I got the Clippers winning next game, and then I seeing a 7-game series tomorrow night. I want Dallas to win though, because I wouldn't mind seeing Clippers because they were crowned champions last year when they made that trade. When they signed Kawhi and made the trade for Paul George, Clipper fans were all over my page like they had won 18 championships before. So for that, I would like to see them.
Why do you hate Clipper fans so much?
Oh, just because they talk mad mess. And they act like they win a championship if they get to the second round. They talk so much junk like they've done something.
Let them talk.
I do. I let them talk, and then I hope they lose. Going to the Eastern Conference. I'll just put you on the solo screen.
Talking about my Wizards.
The Wizards.
Look at that jersey.
Was it at home or was that was in Philly yesterday?
That was in Philly. It was Game 5.
Okay, that was in Philly, Game 5. Without Embiid, I thought they had a chance to win that.
Me too.
Embiid has a meniscus tear.
tear.
Now, let me tell you, with Joel Embiid and with any big guy, a meniscus tear does not sound like day-to-day to me, and they're listing him as day-to-day.
He's week to week.
They just don't want to provide no information.
When you have
a
meniscus tear, that hit last night. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
Dirty hit?
No.
Okay.
It's clean playoff hockey.
Let him play.
Now, he did try to commit manslaughter on the ice, but
we did switch over to hockey because we saw highlights on the screen.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was a chance for them to win. And the meniscus tear, even if it's a slight tear, what happens when you slightly tear something? You keep running, slightly tear again.
It's bigger. It's bigger.
Like anytime, like you get a hole in your shirt, right? When you put it on the next time, it tears a little more. Like, oh man, I forgot I had that hole. And a little more. So with Joel Embiid, somebody who has been prone to injuries, just like AD, just like Kemba Walker, do you want to bring him back that quick to risk something that is, because that to me is not day to day. When you tell me any injury for Joel Embiid is not day to day, first of all,
season to season.
But they're playing the Hawks, so I think you have a little more room to maybe like sit him out the first game or two and see. But that to me is very scary for Philly and sets them back a little bit. Depending on how he comes back.
What if they could? Because if again, Trae Young has been playing crazy, but if the NBA is going to allow the Sixers to continue to hand check, I'm not gonna say anything.
Like
but if they're gonna allow that,
sound like a fan.
Then if they're gonna allow that, and Trae Young now, because that was what I really wanted to see the Knicks, or at least the league, allow the Knicks to do. Knicks basketball to me has always been gritty, grimy, in your face, and they never really like Trae Young. It's funny because my Knicks fan, friend, I was talking to him for about 30 minutes yesterday, and Trae Young, he said Trae Young is the quintessential millennial. He's gonna talk trash and he's gonna run and hide the second any real struggle really comes. And the game now, you're not allowed to push somebody back to really intimidate them or make them feel some type of way. Trae Young is the smaller person. At some point, you have to be able to bully him a little bit. And if you can't, he's going to be able to do what he does, because he's, it was funny because we were talking about it, and both of those teams had like no playoff experience. Like the Hawks had very little, if any. The Knicks had very little, if any. The only difference between Derrick Rose, that was it. The only difference between the two really was that Julius Randle, you get to the playoffs, and now the shots that you're missing are shots that you typically make. Because I was asking,
he's taking a lot of past shots though. He was trying to force a lot.
Yeah. Well,
he wasn't getting what he wanted.
I feel like the pressure was a little bit different. Whereas Trae Young, if all you do is shoot, this is what you do, and I'm still getting the exact same looks I get anytime anyway. It's a lot easier for you to assimilate and keep hitting your shots. So,
Yeah, definitely. And if you're the 76ers, the last thing you want right now is Joel Embiid out there trying to guard the pick and roll.
Yeah.
I mean, with his knee like that, I don't see him playing the next couple games. If not, if they can get by the series,
my goodness,
rest him. If they can win the first, if they can jump out 1-0, 2-0, then he won't play. He won't play the rest of the series.
And you know what? They did really well at getting Dwight Howard in the offseason. So that was an amazing pickup for them because
another one I like.
He's still able to.
He can put a body on somebody.
And now he's very savvy. He's very savvy in terms of what he does. He does a lot of like sneaky, dirty things where I'm like, ooh, that was a foul.
Which is good because you would need that against Trae Young.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean in terms of like getting offensive rebounds. Like he had a couple in the game yesterday where I was like, that was an offensive foul, and they let it go, and then he got the ball, and then he got hacked and one. It's like, so you get the and one, but you didn't see my man get pushed by shoulder blades out the frame. Blades. Like, come on. So Dwight is a huge pickup for them.
No. And he might be able to get under his skin. You got to think one hard foul from Dwight. You never know what happens, especially if they're losing. If the Hawks are losing,
for sure.
But you're right. I mean, we saw that back in the day, and I hate being the old man on the porch, but back in the day, you didn't like those type of players are not getting those easy shots because you're hurting them. You're going to hit them a couple times,
and they're not going to want to shoot that shot. You're
not going to want to go in the lane. You're not going to want to try to drive.
Floater ain't coming.
But it is a different game, and everything's a flagrant.
Yeah. Like everything. We got to review everything. I was like, bro, it was a playoff foul. No, it's dirty. And I'm like, listen, not everything. There's certain elements of the game that are dirty. Now, if you're physically trying to hurt me, that's different. But if you're just giving me a hard foul.
Wait. Physically trying to injure.
Okay. All right.
Hurt and injure. You want to hurt. You want to hurt somebody.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You don't want to injure somebody, though.
Fair enough.
I
want you to feel it.
If we're playing a game of 21, all three of us,
I want you to feel it.
He's taller than us. I'm elbowing him a couple times. I'm not trying to injure him, but I'm going to elbow him a couple times.
He's going to hurt me.
He's going to feel it.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm shooting a jumper next time down. That's what he said. I'm pulling up.
Probably elbow me back and make me not elbow him anymore.
Speaking of the elbow, did you guys see the flagrant foul last night in the Dallas game? Was the big guy for Dallas?
Oh yeah.
Making a regular move, regular post, just drops
flagrant.
He got penalized for being 7'6".
They called flagrant and had to rescind it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a foul in the first place.
And we saw that with Shaq all the time too. You get penalized for being big, you know, because he grabbed the ball, turned around. Just because I'm 7'6", I didn't know your head was going to be down here.
I'm entitled to my space. I'm entitled to my space.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean?
Just because he's in his armpit.
That's not my fault.
Not his fault.
And he got penalized too for fighting John Wick. So that's a dope scene. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see John Wick. I haven't watched any of them.
You never watched any of the John Wicks?
Oh my gosh, what is going on in here? How have you not watched any John Wicks?
You get on me every time you find this out.
I know. I just want to exaggerate this stuff because I already knew.
I haven't watched any of the John Wicks.
And
I love Keanu, but I missed it, and then
John
I got
Wick
behind it.
And the last one was
no, wait.
amazing.
Did you see the new Jason Statham movie?
No, I want to.
It's good.
What is it on again?
I think it's on HBO Max, but I saw it in IMAX. It was dope.
Hope if it's on HBO Max.
See, if you like that and you haven't watched John Wick yet, you got problems because you will definitely like John Wick better. And I haven't even seen the Jason Statham one.
You don't know what you're missing.
You don't know what you're missing. There's 3 John Wicks.
It's about his dog.
No, it's not.
Hey, John Wick is. I'll take John Wick.
And Halle Berry's in the 3rd one.
Fair enough. That's enough to get me. You got me on board.
Now he's on board.
How? They came out 2 years ago.
It's Halle Berry.
You never watched it.
Halle Berry's always on board. We're always on board for that.
He's my only black friend that didn't watch Black Panther in the first month.
But when I watched it, I gave a full critique.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it because everybody started watching it, and then everybody was like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever."
I'm the same way with things. When people tell me I have to do something,
I had to.
Queen's Gambit. I actually had it. I was about to play it, but Todd was forcing me to watch it.
And you just like,
and I'm like, I'll watch it when I want to watch it.
I'm not gonna watch it now.
Sorry, Todd, but I did like it. It wasn't the greatest show of all time, like you said, but it was the greatest show about chess of all time.
It was very good.
No, it was good. Definitely solid.
All right, what we got next? So Philly is going to be playing Atlanta.
We got the Bucks.
And then the Bucks. Who do we got in Philly and Atlanta? I got Philly in 5 actually. Well, depending on Joel Embiid.
Philly in 6. And that's if they can ride it out without Joel Embiid. Yeah. If you can win that in 6, you take it. And you still, as long as you don't get anybody else injured, Tobias and hopefully Ben Simmons keeps, ascending.
I really think they should try as long as possible to not play Joel Embiid.
Yeah. Let him rest.
If we win the first game, keep him out again. If we win the second game, definitely keep him out again.
Yeah.
If they win the first 2, he's not going to play the series.
If they lose the third game, keep him out again.
Yeah.
If it goes 2-2, you might need to bring him back.
Yeah.
But take your chances.
I'm with you. 5 games. I'm with you. I don't see it going past 5. Philly in 5.
Philly is so much better than New York. And not saying that Atlanta struggled a lot against New York, but that was a tough series for them. And Philly's been there before. I think with or without Embiid, they take it in 5.
And then it would be it's Brooklyn, and
listen, this is the series right here, man.
This is the one.
We saw Milwaukee handle business against Miami, who they lost to last year, got eliminated last year to Miami.
Swept.
And they sweep them this year. A lot of people are saying this is the Eastern Conference Finals. But Giannis, a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah.
Because of Philly, because Embiid is always injury prone and no one trusts Ben Simmons' outside shot. And Tobias Harris, let's face it, really good player, very inconsistent.
Shoot, he daggone gave it to my Wizards consistently for 2 weeks.
He had a game where he was really bad.
Really?
I think it was game 3.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I remember he consistently dropped 30 on my head. But for me,
this is going to be a good series.
This is it for the coach in Milwaukee. This is it for him.
See, I don't think anyone gets penalized if you lose to Brooklyn right now.
No. Well, that's true. Yeah, it would be Brooklyn.
They're playing Brooklyn, so I think this is a bigger test of who Brooklyn really is.
Yes,
because they're playing a legit team that's played together.
They have
Drew Holiday now that.
And PJ Tucker
could hang. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's better than Kyrie at all, but he can hang with Kyrie.
Yeah.
He can guard him. Nobody can stop Kyrie, but he can guard him. He can stay in front.
Force him into tougher shots,
or at least get Kyrie a little tired.
And he can do some stuff with Kyrie defensively because he could post up Kyrie a little bit. Not saying he's going to dominate, but he could post up with him. He could score. So Kyrie's going to have to defend, and then you have Giannis. Listen, man, this is going to be a really good series. I see it going 7. I'm not picking a winner yet. I have to pick a winner.
7? You think 7?
I'm saying Milwaukee in 7.
Whoa.
Milwaukee has home court or no?
No.
That's in 2 seed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I got Milwaukee in 7. I want to see a classic series. I really do.
I say Brooklyn in 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Milwaukee in 6.
Wow. The reason I say Brooklyn, honestly, is because when it comes down to it, Milwaukee can't score in the half court. A lot of their stuff is going to come out of medium break, Giannis in medium break situation where there's nobody there in front of him. When you keep getting into situations where we got to be in the half court over and over again, set after set, I just don't think they're going to have enough to stick with them when you come down and you got 2 MVPs and a finals champion, on the other side. It's now the big men though. That's the key in this series to me. If Brook Lopez plays well, and if Giannis plays well, then they got a chance. But if they don't, I don't see it going very far.
Milwaukee could put up points, and
that's coming.
Brooklyn is not playing.
Middleton's got to score. Continue to do what he's doing. Middleton is the big part of it.
Yes.
He's got to score, and he's going to have to play some defense. He's going to have to make it tough. I mean, no one can stop KD either.
But Brooklyn's going to have to play defense, too.
They're going to have to guard him.
And
he has to be a threat.
They don't play a lot of defense. They're trying to outscore you, and that's all they're trying to do. So, I think that's where I'm giving the advantage to Milwaukee, because Milwaukee is still going to be able to score.
They defend.
But you're right. It's this series is up to Middleton. Is he going to be what he's getting paid to be?
Yep. No, he's got to show up. He's got to make that next step. He's got to make that. And he was doing it this series. He was playing well. If he just continues that, but he's got to show against Brooklyn. He's got to do it against them.
Do you think he can?
I think he can. I think he's about rhythm. I think especially in the playoffs right now, him and being a shooter, it's about rhythm. If he's in a good rhythm right now, he can keep it going.
Yeah,
he'll be fine. I think he's due to break out.
He can't be the reason they lose.
No.
He's been the reason they've lost before, and he just can't be that in this series. So if they lose, they need to lose with him and Giannis still dominating.
He's got to prove that he's the best second man. Like he's a good second man. Like he is the legit Robin to the Giannis Batman. You know what I mean? He's got to step up.
But I think in this series is when you're going to see the most of how important Drew Holiday is to this team, because that's a much bigger upgrade over Eric Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe. Drew
Brees.
Almost had me.
Tom Brady.
Nah. Just the physicality of him, the size of him. He's going to be able to put pressure on Kyrie, be able to put pressure on their guards. And I'm with the system. I'm with you, Milwaukee. I think it's the system. Because what do you do with Brooklyn? They come down 1-3. Who wants to go?
Yeah.
All it takes. I mean, no one can stop KD. KD's gonna do whatever. He's 7 feet and does everything. But like, if all it takes is a couple bad shooting nights or off night, they can't find a rhythm. It's not like they're gonna set up an offense and all of a sudden change what they do.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? No. They're not gonna change what they do.
It's mostly all ISO.
It's all ISO.
It's ISO ball and
it's ISO. Get a drink of water, take a quick break.
And we've talked about it before. Brooklyn still hasn't played a lot together. Obviously, they dominated Boston pretty well, but they were also playing a Boston team that Kemba is hurt all the time. You only had to deal with Tatum. That was it. You didn't have Jaylen Brown there. You didn't. You had a coach that knew he had another job.
They already had something lined up. This was already
one thing I will say for both of you guys as well. As much as Budenholzer has struggled in the playoffs, he's been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is all Steve Nash's first foray in coaching. Yep. As these X's and O's situations get tight at the end of games, we'll see.
Right. Is Steve Nash really coaching, or is he just going to be like James?
Steve is coaching.
Because he has a lot of assistants that have been there.
He has a lot of assistants now, and the assistants are helping him a lot. You know what I mean?
So a lot of times the assistants are the ones actually coaching.
A lot of times.
So I think that might be their case where, Kyrie said at the beginning of the season it's a
coaching by committee
collective group, right?
Collective effort.
Collective effort on coaching.
Collective effort.
As soon as he got the job, that's the first thing he said.
So let's talk about coaching. Brad Stevens loses. A great coach. He's such a great coach, is what everybody's been telling me for 4 years. Hasn't done anything in Boston, and loses in the first round to Brooklyn once again. So you have a semi-excuse, right? An injury plagued team going into the playoffs, but you lose your job. And you get a promotion in the same company. Is that a smart move for Boston? Danny Ainge is out. Brad Stevens is moving into the GM position. Is that a smart move? And who will be the next coach of the Boston Celtics?
For me, I don't know if it's a good move, because Ainge, like him or lump him, he did an amazing job over the last 15 years. From bringing in Kevin Garnett, bringing in Ray Allen, really, really reshaping what the Celtic organization was.
Yeah.
Then trading away old pieces, getting all those picks from the Nets, and then transforming the team again and getting younger, getting faster, being able to switch. He gave Brad Stevens
Stealing Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Trading down to get the best player in the draft.
To get the best player in the draft and hitting on it.
Yeah.
He's done a terrific job. He did a terrific job over a 15-year span.
Could you imagine Jason Tatum with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons?
That's just insane.
You got another big three. Big three.
Man. Shoot. I don't even know if you can call that a big three. That's like the Titanic three.
A superhero team.
Yeah, seriously. Wow. That's the freaking.
Danny Ainge did a great job.
He did
a great job.
And you're not hitting every time. There's been a few misses lately, but at the same time,
you're never gonna hit every time. You're never gonna hit every time.
And Kyrie said he was gonna re-sign 2 years ago and ended up not re-signing.
Yes.
So that's kind of what put him in this downward spiral that's going on right now.
I can't remember. Who did they trade? Who did they trade for Kyrie?
Isaiah
Thomas was part of that,
and just a whole bunch of other
and I feel like picks.
There's some picks. And stuff
Isaiah got
that.
traded to Cleveland.
It was one of the
Kyrie went from Cleveland to Boston.
90 picks they had,
and then a whole bunch of picks. But yeah, Isaiah was the main player.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
Well, they didn't really lose.
Yeah, they didn't.
that actually was a good trade.
Yeah.
And then they go and sign Kemba Walker, which was a risk when they did it because Kemba's never really been healthy.
Another guy.
And now he's just hurt all the time, and even when he's not hurt, he's super inconsistent, like 35 one game, 6 the next. You can't do that when you're supposed to be one of the best point guards in the league, period. You can't do that. So it's not all on Danny Ainge, but I think Danny Ainge, he's getting older. He had a heart attack, a couple years ago.
Yes,
so
he's
ready to hit the golf course.
Yes, he did.
Like full time.
And he's done a good job. He brought them a championship.
Yep.
So
from upstairs.
And Brad Stevens is younger now. Surprising that he's not coaching.
Yeah. Yeah, to get this, I mean, you know what? I look at him similar to, remember when Steve Kerr was GM when he stepped out of the booth and then Phoenix. He was GM of Phoenix and then went back to the booth and I'm a coach.
Traded for Shaq and realized we did
bad move. Maybe I should stop doing this GM thing.
Bad Shaq. And then he avoided
wrong decade.
The smartest thing Steve Kerr ever did for his coaching career. Can you name it?
Not going to the Knicks.
He had an interview with the Knicks and he took the interview with Golden State first, was going to go to New York still, and someone said, do not go to New York because Phil Jackson will probably, persuade you to go there, and it'd be a disaster. And he ended up staying in Golden State.
That was a great...
They didn't even let him do the interview.
That was a great... that's one of those...
Because he wouldn't be a coach right now.
No.
Oh, no, he'd been fired.
Because Derek Fisher took that job.
Jeez.
And Derek Fisher, maybe he'd be coaching the Liberty. Because Derek's coaching the Sparks right now.
Not saying that anything's wrong with that.
Listen, you deserve equal pay if you make it to the NBA.
Move on, Quan. Move on.
What? Equal pay. Listen, you can't get equal pay.
This is how we're going to get ourselves canceled.
You play 30 games a year. You want the same as guys that play 82. And if you want equal pay, be good enough to get to the NBA where they'll let you play if you're good enough to get equal pay.
Well, look, in terms of equal pay for the ladies, I'll say this. The game, the product,
I knew I was going to suck them into
the product itself isn't there yet.
It's getting better though.
It is.
I've been watching a lot more WNBA.
It is much better, and but it's still not garnering the eyeballs to base the late.
Sabrina's dope though.
Yes, she is. Ladies soccer. I never can say that child's last name.
Iowa.
Wouldn't even try.
Something like that.
Wouldn't even try.
Oregon. But you know what I mean, in
White
terms
female
of
Kobe,
basically,
right?
In terms of when you say ladies soccer, they should get paid more than the men. Like that one, there's no reason that the men get paid more than the girls that have won World Cups.
Well, we can't even qualify though. We're not even playing.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
All we got is
we can't even make there's no way that you can ever tell me.
Didn't even know they were playing for real. We thought we were just having a barbecue.
We do exhibition games.
But you know what I mean? That one, I'm like, no, they should get paid more than the men. Not a question.
Definitely.
But for the ladies, in terms of ladies basketball, the marketing dollars, it's not possible for you guys to get paid.
I wish more people would look at that, the people that try to argue about that all the time, because the NBA makes billions every year.
Just billions.
The WNBA has lost every year.
Yeah.
You're losing money. You don't have the money yet to generate to pay those people. Any company. I can't pay people in my studio what they might make in an established network. I can't pay you what you make at ESPN. I can't.
For the same
job.
You
know why? I would love to.
I'm not ESPN.
But I don't got the ESPN money. I don't got, we don't have that here. So
it's a money game.
Exactly. If the WNBA was bringing in that much money, it's still not paying.
Oh, cool. Then it's totally different ballgame.
But they're playing 30 games a year. Let me listen, man. Let me get $150,000 for 3 months of work.
I mean, also, but speaking of overseas, they make more. They make more going to play in Europe. They make more playing in Europe than they do in the WNBA.
Russia, China. I sent the girl to China. She daggone made $700,000 in 2 months.
Wow.
Like, no, they don't cry poverty. The ones that can play and they get paid. Just the only thing is though, the girls literally pay year round. Like they take off like a week and then the WNBA season starts.
Well, here's the thing: normal people work year round too.
Normal people ain't throwing their bodies up against other people.
Normal people are doing some worse stuff than that. And I know some women that are throwing them.
Anyway.
What were we talking about before we jumped into that?
We were finishing up basketball.
NBA's done. Okay. The coaching. So who do you think will be the next coach of the Celtics? There's been Jason Kidd rumors, but if Lakers go out in the first round, Jason Kidd might be the coach of the Lakers next year.
Exactly.
A lot of people aren't looking at that because the coaching has not been great. Why has Montrezl Harrell not been playing? Even if he's small,
no idea.
He's still an energy guy, so you could bring him in as a power forward.
He hasn't played for you guys. That he's been off. He hasn't been the right fit the entire time, and I've loved it.
And he's had some really good games though.
Yes,
but
he has.
I don't feel like the coach is doing a great job right now of adjusting. And if they go out in the first round, Lakers might also be paying 2 other coaches still, so I'm not sure.
Might not want to fire another.
They might not want to do that right now.
I think you're still paying Phil Jackson.
Mike Brown.
Jeannie's paying Phil.
Yes, she is.
Nah.
No, I hope Lakers still aren't paying Mike Brown, but
I mean, there's only one way to get rid of him. That's if LeBron calls Jeannie and be like,
hey, we want Jason.
I need Jason. Okay.
For what?
Okay, LeBron. Do you really want to do? Yes, I need this done right now. Okay.
Yeah, I love you, LeBron.
Okay, anything else, LeBron? Okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's the GM, he's the owner.
But they've talked about Jason Kidd, and a lot of people want a black coach now that the white guy got fired and got a promotion.
Oh, you're talking about in Boston?
You don't see many black coaches get fired and get a promotion.
Well, you also don't see too many black coaches in Boston.
You don't see many black people in Boston.
Bill Russell.
Bill was the first
one.
Casey Jones. There's been quite a few coaches in Boston.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
that's true. That's true.
We got you there.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Casey Jones.
Oh, man.
Bill was the first.
Who's going to be the next coach, though? Who's going to be?
I keep giving young guys a chance.
Paul Pierce doesn't have a job right now.
Oh. No, they'll have
is he going to bring the girls with him to
in the locker room.
Gilbert Arenas to be assistant coach.
Could you imagine Pierce?
Matt Barnes to be over there too.
Have wheelchairs for everyone.
Man, yeah, Paul would be tough. That'd be.
Yeah, I can't see.
He doesn't have the temperament for it.
Neither could KG.
Oh my God, KG would curse.
KG be playing. KG be playing. He'd be coming out of retirement.
Listen, KG actually, I could see KG as a college coach.
Yeah,
I could see him as a college coach. Because kids would listen and they could really he's been there, he's a Hall of Famer. NBA players, you got one time to MF me and that's the end of it. That is the end of it, KG.
Especially these young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting, but I feel like if they already had this move done, they already have their core
Sam Cassell
coaches they want.
He should.
He's a forever assistant.
At some point,
does he ever get his chance?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he might be.
It seems to me that would be a safe bet in a way. You know what I mean? Something like that.
But I feel like they already have their eye on something.
Well, they already have their guy. They
and
just
if
haven't
Tatum's asking for somebody though,
Evan Turner.
That's who he asked for.
That's a weird ask.
That's questionable at best.
Must
horrendous
be his
at
weed man
worst
or something.
Oh no, you did.
It's just a weird. That was weird when I heard that.
Yeah, that was weird.
I didn't even know they were friends like that.
I didn't either.
Tatum's good, but he's not that good. You got to be unreal to get that request in.
Moving on to the coaches that should be fired. Will they be fired? Scott Brooks, will he be fired, or do you have another year of Scott Brooks especially with Westbrook being there now. He seems to like him.
Well, that's going to come down to Beal because Westbrook and Scott Brooks are as thick as thieves. Remember, Scott Brooks was Westbrook's coach. He was the coach that defended Westbrook when everyone was talking bad about him early on in his career and really helped him get to the next point. So if it's up to Westbrook, of course he's not going anywhere. But it's not. And you want to keep Bradley Beal happy as well. And Beal has been there for a lot of questionable Scott Brooks decisions. It's for me that's really going to come down to the Wizards got to get more defensive.
He's been there
players.
5 years now,
something like that.
Been there for a minute, so I think it's time for a change.
Something like that.
You have to do some type of change because, granted, their team is not very good. Like, them even being in the playoffs, they have 2 superstars though.
Superstars.
So you need to build around. You need to be able to build around them, and I think, they have decent players, but you don't have anything else. You don't have a third player. Hachimura, he might be their third best player.
If he takes another step, he could be borderline all-star.
But you still need some better.
But look at what were they, 10th seed?
Yeah.
For most, like,
we were the 10th seed and then got to 8.
Yeah, got that, but in the East though.
Well, I mean,
so they got room. They got room. They need growth. They need players, but maybe like Portland. Do they keep their backcourt? Portland, in the same situation on Portland. Do they keep CJ and Dame together?
Yeah,
do Washington keep Russ and Beal together?
It's kind of one of those things where in today's game you're almost screwed either way, because you blow up the team. You don't know you could do the Knicks. You don't know how long it's going to take to get it back. If you keep it together, you kind of know what you are.
You're mediocre.
You're like
staying there.
You're right there. You're not great.
Yeah.
But in the end, sometimes a lot of times, and Gilbert actually talked about this, not on our show, but he said this before, where he was basically saying some owners just want to make enough money to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so if your team is solid and you're going to make the playoffs year after year, you'll pay whatever it takes because you know you're going to make that money. Now, if you blow the team up and then the fans go away again, you're not making any money. So
you
it's
don't even have a player worthy of selling tickets or selling jerseys or anything like that. Yeah.
So it kind of it depends. It really just depends on what Ted Leonsis wants to do.
All right,
the owner of the Wizards.
Yeah, that's
what we figured.
Just in case.
Yeah, I don't know any other coaches on the hot seat right now that I could think of. Obviously, Tibbs isn't going anywhere.
Stotts in Portland.
Yeah, Portland.
Do you think he is?
God, yes.
I
mean, unless they
just
keep doing what they want to do. Like, if it's mediocre and everything's cool, then. But I would say.
And that's how I feel like Portland has just been cool.
Or it's one or the other.
Well, they've talked about firing him the last couple years.
Yeah.
He's been quietly there, because I want to say the year that they went to the conference finals, they wanted to fire him that year, and it was like, well, we just went to the conference finals, and they couldn't fire him. And then last year it was like, he's gonna get fired, and I thought he was for sure gonna get fired. And they brought him back.
Especially if they lose in the first round to a team that
they're
missing their second best player. Yeah. All right, moving on to let's jump into boxing real quick, man. We got a big, huge fight this weekend, Josh.
Yeah.
Exhibition: Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Got your hat. You know what I'm saying?
Not even the right Paul brother.
Jake Paul jumped in and stole his hat. We had Leonard Ellerby on to talk about that a few weeks ago. Big fight, man, in Miami. Everything's open. Vegas is open. No one's wearing a mask anymore. We're safe. COVID doesn't exist in Vegas.
Yeah, there we go. It went away.
Thanks. Thanks, Biden. So, what do you think about this fight, man? Are you gonna watch it, or are we?
I'm going to be on the plane. No, I'll be in Brazil. I will be there.
Oh, Brazil.
I will be there. So I actually probably will watch it. And
okay.
I will pay.
I'm talking to Leonard.
Send you a link later.
No, hey, look, shout out to my guys at FanMio. It should be a very, very exciting event. It was sad that one of the fights on the card, I think it was the Badu Jack fight, got shifted. So I think they had because the other guy that he was fighting tested positive for steroids, so he had to drop out. And last I heard they were filling the fight, so I don't know who he's going to fight now.
Huh.
But But the fight should be entertaining. You know, we know Floyd isn't going to sit this guy down fast. It's gonna be. I don't think it'll go to a. Yeah, I don't think it'll go to a decision. But
well, they say there's no official winner. So some of the rules are there's no official winner because it's an exhibition.
Oh, okay.
Knockouts are allowed.
Yeah.
No points or no
points.
There's no scoring. But
so it's an exhibition.
Yeah.
So it will last some time. You know, I don't think Floyd's going to just end him in the first, which maybe he should. To shut them up a little bit.
Honestly, it would be fun if he did that. But you know, Floyd's going to go about 5-6 rounds, dance, bing him up a little bit.
3 8-minute rounds. I mean, eight 3-minute rounds.
8 3-minute rounds.
That would be cool having 3 8-minute rounds.
Oh my God.
Be tired.
Oh, we're gonna check that chin for real. See how you're really doing.
He wouldn't make it through the first
I've seen a lot of people on the internet mad at the rules and stuff. I'm like, they've called it an exhibition from day one.
Yeah.
Floyd says he's done. He's retired from boxing. He's gonna be doing exhibition. So
get
used to it if you want to see these fights happen. And in other news, Jake Paul is actually gonna fight Tyron Woodley
in August,
which I think he's gonna have problems with that because Woodley, you know, he can swing.
I think
he's not going down like his homeboy did, Ben Askren.
He's going down. It just won't be in the first 5 punches of the fight.
So you think Woodley's gonna lose?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be bad for him.
Listen,
his rap out Marty got knocked out.
Look, I hate you. I'll say this. I think, and I posted about this on Facebook.
I wish I could do that.
Stop saying incendiary, inflammatory.
What I said on Facebook was not a big deal. Facebook just hates me.
You're the Tom Wilson.
I'm with you,
you get to finally understand what it feels like to be Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson's dirty.
Keep your nose clean, Quan.
Tom Wilson's dirty.
And then they won't be watching. Big Bad Brother won't be watching you so tough. What was I talking about? What were we talking about? We were talking about
Tyron Woodley.
Tyron Woodley.
He posted on Facebook.
So no, as far as Jake Paul is bringing so many MMA eyeballs back to boxing. So many in these fights. You know what I mean? As much as people hate on him and whatever, and he keeps fighting MMA fighters, he's bringing MMA eyeballs back to the sport of boxing. That said, if he keeps knocking out MMA fighters, it does make UFC and MMA look bad in some ways. Now, that being said, it was funny because I was talking to one of my guys and they were mentioning, because Jalen Love was one of the other guys that was in the locker room talking trash with Tyron Woodley. And he told me, he was like, look, if I get into an octagon, one of the female fighters will absolutely murder me in an octagon. Yeah. He's like, it's not the same fight, but he was like, but you step inside this boxing ring and he was like, I'll let you know what it's really about.
Yeah.
So, so it's just different. So I do feel like he would beat Woodley. And that wouldn't look good for Woodley. But that being said, Woodley already is guaranteed $5 million. Guaranteed before pay-per-view rev share. So he's getting these guys paid that have never been paid before.
Yeah. They're making more money in one fight than they did their whole career.
Yeah, so for Woodley, if Woodley messes around and makes 10 million, 15 million, 20 million for this one fight,
even 5,
man,
I've never made 5 million in a fight.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Give me the first figure. Just give me the first
figure. So I can't hate on Jake Paul anymore. Like the more I look at it, I'm like, nah, bro.
I mean, this is all a business.
He's helping dudes. He's helping dudes.
It's entertainment. They're creating a buzz. They're making money.
Yeah.
They got the investors. They're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it, and they're cutting out the middleman.
And the thing they're doing that boxing is not doing is they're bringing on people that people want to watch.
Yeah.
Because boxing just is not. If the big fighters in boxing were fighting each other all the time,
we
wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
These exhibitions wouldn't be able to exist.
Pop up. Yeah.
Wouldn't be news.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. I mean, Jake Paul, he's 3-0, and we care about him at 3-0.
Yeah.
Because he already has a name. You know, the difference between him and any other local upstart boxer is he already has a name. He already has so many people that care.
He built his brand.
Yeah, so he's just in a different position.
Yeah.
Can't hate on him.
All right. Next up and last up, what else we got?
NHL.
Knights are down 2-0. We talked about that already.
See how quick he gets through NHL.
We talked about it. Islanders are playing the Bruins.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's playing Carolina, which I think they're up 2-0 right now in that series.
Tampa is?
I believe so.
Jeez, I turned off when my Capitals lost.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Yeah, I am. I'm not even gonna fake.
I got excited for the overtime game last night, but then that went by real fast.
Dope.
I was like, man.
I watch, the highlights. I don't sit and watch a game.
Yeah.
I probably am pulling for the Avs overall to win. Them, or I don't want the Islanders to win. I love Barry, but that would just be wrong.
Why? Because your coach?
Well, I just don't care for the Islanders.
Okay.
That's like saying Barry went to the Penguins and all of a sudden it's like, I'll cheer for Barry because
series is tied 1-1 right now. And then Lightning are up 2-0 against the Canes, and Knights are down and
0-1.
And Canadians over the Jets, they're up 1-0.
Yep.
On the Jets, and
I wouldn't be mad seeing the Canadians win. Canada needs a winning team. They haven't won one.
And Canadians played the Maple Leafs?
Yes, they did. Came back from 3-1.
So the Maple Leafs lose again.
Yes, they
in
did.
The first round. What is wrong with that franchise?
Listen, it's similar to what has happened with the Caps. It's just a mentality. It's a mentality. Playoff hockey is different. I keep telling you guys that.
And Game 7 was in Toronto. Well,
yeah. They were the number one seed.
Yeah, they were at home.
They were the number one. And, and they had every reason to win that series multiple times over. But Carey Price, Vezina Trophy winner, one of the greatest goaltenders of all time. All it takes is a hot goaltender.
Yeah.
You've seen that, being a Knights fan. When Fleury is on fire, it's like nothing can go wrong. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time before we score. Eventually, their goalie's going to let something in. You know what I mean? But our goalie is not letting anything in. It's a very comforting feeling. Or you could be a Caps fan where you get soft goals where it's like, come on, that goal.
Who'd you lose to in the first round?
We lost to the freaking Bruins.
In the first round, yeah.
And we had cracked the Bruins all year, and then the playoffs came, and it was like they was skating on a different rink. like why are they so fast? We are so hurt right now.
Now I want to try to pull up the highlight of
the hit.
The hit.
Yeah, that hit was
vicious.
Was that's a good word
vicious.
for it. That's a good word for it.
If you didn't know where he was at, he knows now.
So talk while I'm looking for that.
Okay, all right. Well, who what hockey team do you like?
Hockey is probably the only sport I didn't follow that much of. I've never been to a hockey game. Watched it on TV, but never been to a game in person. I want to go.
Sophia was talking about that too. Yeah. You guys need to go.
Yeah, we gotta go. We're gonna need a date night. We gotta go to the Knights game.
Okay.
We need a babysitter.
Okay.
Josh will babysit.
Man, but no, I heard they're great. I heard the games are awesome.
The games are fun. I've been as just a fan, just going, and then I've also gone to Caps Knights games and and talk trash to the fans.
Right. I know you were there.
Of course. But the Knights fans, they're so dumb. They're so nice.
Man, nah,
they don't know
it looks dope. Atmosphere looks dope. We gotta go check it out. I want to go. Gotta go check it out. Then I'll probably get into it even more.
Yeah.
I was watching the game. What was it, last night? And then when Dallas Mavs won, I changed back to the hockey game. I was getting ready for overtime.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's watch this highlight real quick, and let me know if it's a dirty play. You're gonna be looking at this screen, chat.
Okay. Now this is empty net.
Empty net. He's coming in. Oh man, that was brilliant.
Yes.
Hit his head on the floor.
Yes. Playoff hockey, baby.
Yeah, I mean it's a 1-goal game.
Nothing dirty about that.
Well,
nothing dirty. He's skating down to get the empty netter. You don't want to let the empty net in. He didn't leave his feet. That's the main stuff you're looking for. He didn't leave his feet, and he didn't make contact to his head. He just ran through his body. Yeah. Now it could be a charging call depending on how many strides he took. No, see, he stopped sliding. Go back. It'll go again. It'll go again. Just watch. If you watch him, he didn't charge into him, meaning he didn't take 2 or 3 more strides to get to him. Watch. He has stopped skating he stopped. I stopped. Bang. He stopped. That's not dirty at all. There's nothing dirty about that. The guy just wanted the goal. He just wanted the goal really bad. He just wanted the goal really bad.
Wow.
And he's now in the hospital really bad.
Nah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Playoffs.
All right,
playoff hockey.
You don't see nothing wrong.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Good hit. Clean hit.
He likes old school playoff.
Old school.
Hockey. That's old school hockey.
That's right.
Definitely.
All right. And then that's it.
And then that's it.
That's our show.
That's the show today.
Anything else you want to say?
No, hey, thank you so much, guys, for having me. Had a
Thank
blast,
you for
man.
coming
Thank
in,
you.
Chad. Seriously.
Anytime,
man.
guys. Anytime.
Definitely. So make sure you guys tune in Monday and Thursday, 1 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays. I don't know. 3's cool.
Yeah, kind of sometimes. Just
Maybe 1, maybe 2.
shakes out.
Depends on when we get an interview. But listen, man, we will be back on Monday, 1 p.m. West Coast time. We'll have one of the lovely ladies of Unnamed in the studio with us
Josh
as well.
will be on the beach.
You will be. So you won't be here again.
I will. No, I'm gonna try to. I'll try to call in from the beach.
Josh will not be here.
Now he's gonna show off.
I'll flex from the beach.
Try to be here on the beach.
Try to keep the the nudity to a minimum. It's Brazil. I can't
right,
vouch
folks.
for what it is or what it isn't.
Bye, guys. Download the app.